It's a quality of life issue up here, too. You know, I mean, people like to use the trails. You've seen how many people use them.
Now at 5, improving safety where pedestrians and cyclists cross a busy road while using the Monon Trail. One city is planning to make some changes after a pedestrian was recently hurt.
Temperatures are still comfortable and humidity low, but a warming trend is on the way. Wind will push 90 degrees.
A Florida sheriff's deputy about to become a police officer in Fishers, killed in an on-duty crash. What happened and how the Fishers Police Department is responding.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening to you here at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Tonight we begin in Hamilton County, where there are growing concerns about safety when it comes to a busy spot where cars, pedestrians, and bicyclists converge.
Already, someone has been hurt, and many are worried it could happen again. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is speaking to city leaders in Westfield about what they plan to do when it comes to the Monon Trail crossing.
It doesn't take long to notice a safety concern here along 161st Street in the Monon Trail in Westfield. There are stop signs for pedestrians crossing the street, but over and over you see the traffic stopping to let them through.
There's an expectation that some of them have that these cars are going to wait for them. Well, if I'm crossing Illinois Street in downtown Indianapolis, nobody's waiting for me.
David Wachtel lives in Westfield. He drives down a busy 161st Street often and even uses the Monon Trail to exercise. After a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle at the intersection earlier this month, he noticed the city of Westfield taking steps to improve safety. They added lights around the stop signs to help alert trail users that they need to stop. In these signs that say cross traffic does not stop. The city is also now in the designing phases to add a tunnel under the street.
So I guess from the perspective of people not want to have their workouts interrupted, the tunnel wouldn't be a bad thing, and it'll be safer. I mean, you know, you're not going to get hit by a car when you're under the ground, but if you just wait 2 seconds, you can go across.
I suppose I stop some of the time. Sometimes I don't. I just do it out of respect to people on the trail, because I'm a trail user and I want everybody else to slow down.
If the vehicle is on the road itself, the vehicle does have the right of way. Use caution, because it may be someone that may be in that vicinity. It may be someone in that area that you need to watch out for.
Coming up tonight at 6, I'll talk to other trail users and break down details for the tunnel project. Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Thanks, Nicole. And if you have a problem and need help getting results, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Another sunny day with pleasant, comfortable temperatures here in central Indiana, but the heat will return. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here. So when would this warming trend start again, Kevin?
So you mentioned the heat returns, but not with the big-time humidity.
Good. That's a
victory,
relief. Yeah.
Victory for us. All right, let's go back out and talk about our state of perfection. Lots of sunshine, and that means nothing on radar. And I bring this up because we'll probably wait until Monday before our next best chance for any showers or thunderstorms. Humidity is low and the sky is perfectly clear. Still that cool flow of air. You know, we missed 80 degrees again today, 79 the high temperature. That northwest wind around 10 miles per hour. Temperatures will fall into the 50s once again tonight. There's the warm spot, 81. You can see a little ribbon of warmth once you get past the Wabash River out to the west. Temperatures anywhere in the metro area, upper 70s generally speaking. Here's the temperature fall into the upper 60s by 11 o'clock tonight. Skies will be perfectly clear once again. Overnight low temperatures gradually warmer. Tomorrow 59, Friday morning at 62, and then as we get into the weekend, mid 60s for overnight lows. Where will that leave our high temperatures? We'll talk about that coming up.
Kevin, thanks. We are now learning a Florida sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty over the weekend was moving to Indiana soon to join the Fishers Police Department. And investigators say Deputy Benjamin Nimps with the Broward County, Florida Sheriff's Office was going to some kind of domestic dispute around 3 Sunday morning. That's when he collided with another vehicle at an intersection. Nimps died from his injuries, and the other driver was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The Fishers Police Department says they were looking forward to having Nimps NIMS as a part of their team. The Fishers Police Department released this statement to us, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the sudden and tragic death of Broward County Sheriff's Deputy Benjamin NIMS. He was a strong family man, military veteran, and a highly qualified law enforcement officer. We believe he would have provided a great service to our police department and the Fishers community. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and fellow co-workers in Broward County."
The woman who bought the gun that was later used to kill a Boone County Sheriff's deputy last year is going to prison. Dawn Love Rashawn was given a 13-month sentence in federal prison after pleading guilty in the case. Rashawn was charged with making a false statement to buy the 9mm handgun. That gun ended up in the hands of Anthony Baumgart, who used it to kill Boone County Deputy Jacob Pickett. Prosecutors say she lied about her home address on the federal background check form. They say she would not have been able to buy the gun had she told the truth. Investigators still haven't said how the gun ended up in the hands of Anthony Baumgart.
Robert Mueller testifying on Capitol Hill. The former special counsel received hours of questioning from 2 House panels about his controversial Russia probe. And his short and often one-word responses frustrated lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi is in Washington with the latest on this developing story.
2 years of anticipation boiling down to this moment.
As you know, in May 2017, the acting attorney general asked me to serve as special counsel.
Former special counsel Robert Mueller taking the stand in powerful back-to-back hearings, answering questions about his 22-month-long investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election and the Trump campaign.
It was in the public interest for our investigation to be complete, but not to last a day longer than was necessary.
Mueller setting the stage from the start, outlining the bottom line findings of his report and making it clear that he would not go beyond that.
And what about total exoneration? Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
And for much of the questioning, responded with short, often yes and no answers. Meanwhile, Republicans took aim at Mueller's reputation.
It was not the special counsel's job to conclusively determine Donald Trump's innocence or to exonerate him.
GOP members also launching an attack on his team and questioning the origins of his investigation. And while Mueller remained tight-lipped on how it began, he didn't have an issue reiterating his concern about Russian election interference.
And that aspect of our investigation that has and would have long-term damage to the United States.
Mueller criticizing the president for encouraging WikiLeaks to publish Clinton emails stolen by Russia.
Problematic is an understatement in terms of what it displays in terms of giving some, hope or some boost to what is and should be illegal activity.
One of the biggest moments of today's event was Mueller clarifying that from the start of his investigation, he was aware of the Justice Department guideline prohibiting him from indicting a sitting president, but added that the president can be charged after he leaves office. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And a reminder in water safety tonight, investigators say a 19-year-old man is in the hospital with severe head and facial injuries after another person landed a jet ski on top of him. This all happened last night around 8:45 on Morse Reservoir in Hamilton County. Indiana conservation officers say an 18-year-old Noblesville man used his jet ski to jump the wake of a boat, but went airborne and landed on top of the 19-year-old victim, who was also on a personal watercraft. Investigators believe alcohol was involved and say it's unlawful to jump the wake of another boat because something like this can happen.
Colts training camp starts in earnest tomorrow, but today all eyes on the players with their unique arrivals to Grand Park in Westfield. RTV6 Sports' Brad Brown is there for it all.
Well, picture perfect day up here in Westfield, as if the weather holds up like this at Grand Park, we're going to have a good start to training camp. The Colts rolling in here for the beginning of things. It's more of a trickle in as everybody starts to arrive and get set to go before they head out here for the first practice session coming up on Thursday. Of course, plenty of excitement, plenty of expectations, and the anticipation very high for this team. Getting talked about being in the Super Bowl conversation after making a run to the playoffs last year. General Manager Chris Ballard talked to us this afternoon, said several players will be limited in practice to get things started. Among them, Andrew Luck and other players returning from injury. They want to be smart about getting these guys back in the proper time.
We don't want them to get out here and have a setback, and we've become so process oriented and taking the right. I mean, if we learned anything, when I walked in the door through the first injury he had, let's just make sure we're taking the right steps. Let's do look, we're getting ready to play the Chargers. You know, that's where our mindset is right now.
If you're coming up here for practice on Thursday and really through the weekend, these practices will be at 2 o'clock, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Colt City will open at 1 o'clock. So it's a good opportunity for fans to get a first look at these sessions here at training camp. Coming up tonight on the news at 6, we'll hear from Darius Leonard as he gets set for what could be maybe another big season with the Colts defense. T.Y. Hilton as well, looking good on his way in here. And we'll have more of the details for you for this opening weekend as 3 weeks of training camp get started here in Westfield. At Grand Park, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
Thanks, Brad. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. Every year, wildfires pop up across parts of the country. Researchers are trying to better understand what the tiniest particles from those fires could be doing to our lungs.
And just ahead here at 5, a setback. A couple from Indiana enduring a tragic turn of events that landed them in the hospital on their honeymoon gets some more bad news, delaying their trip home.
Temperature trend up and away, but it will come with something missing that we've had most of the summer. We'll talk about that, but we'll approach 90 by the weekend.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
The only name you need to know.
Welcome back to RTV6 News at 5. New developments tonight. It's now unclear when a newly married Crawfordsville couple will be back home from a nightmare honeymoon in the Caribbean. Clay Chastain and his wife were hiking last week in St. Kitts when they found a rope leading down to a dormant volcano. The rope snapped and Clay fell about 70 feet down a steep incline. He's in the hospital with a concussion and a skull fracture. His injuries require him to take an air ambulance home. Well, that aircraft was supposed to take Clay and his wife home today, but the plane has mechanical issues, so the couple is now stuck in St. Kitts until the plane is fixed or another air ambulance arrives.
A family of 5 in Fishers is without a home after a fire ripped through their house early this morning. Fishers firefighters say when they got to the large house on Shady Knoll Drive near 126th Street and Southeastern Parkway, fire had overtaken it. In fact, investigators were worried the fire could spread to other homes. It took firefighters 40 minutes to get that fire under control, and there was very minor damage to neighboring houses. Investigators say the family of 5 escaped safely because of the early warning from the smoke alarms in their home. However, they lost everything in the house. It is not clear why that fire started. And working for you with an RTV6 recall alert, a breast implant maker has issued a worldwide recall for certain textured models after regulators alerted the company to heightened cancer risk with the devices. That company is Allergen Incorporated. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration said it called for the removal, and the agency says new information showed that Allergen's BioCell breast implants with a textured surface were tied to the vast majority of cases of a rare form of lymphoma. The FDA is not recommending women with the implants have them removed because the cancer is so rare, but say they should check with their doctor if they have symptoms, which include pain and swelling.
The calendar still says July, but it's time for some students to head back to school. One district kicked off classes today. More than 20 schools in the Perry Township district opened their doors to students this morning, and some of them were greeted with changes. RTV6's Alyssa Donovan goes back to school this evening.
More than 16,000 kids headed back to school today in Perry Township, and a lot of them walked into brand new classrooms. 21 of those new classrooms are right here at Perry Meridian Middle School. The other 18 are at Southport Middle School.
Really the best 21st century classroom setting you can have. We've put in some Project Lead the Way classrooms. It's a focus on STEM, so the kids are going to be able to do 3D printing. They'll be able to kind of code and build robots.
The new construction was a necessity for the growing district. As more and more people move to the area, more and more kids are filing in. The district expects an additional nearly 500 middle school students in just the next 2 years. Across the street, thousands of students attend the Perry Meridian High School, greeted by their principal on their first day back. Perry Township is the first area school district to head back to class, but many more will follow in the coming weeks. The superintendent wants to remind people to have patience and pay attention on the roads.
Remember, buses are rolling, so as you're driving to work yourself, really be aware that we got buses out, and if that stop arm comes out, we need you to stop, let our kids get on and off the buses safely.
Working for you, I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Thanks, Alyssa. And right now on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com, we have a complete list of when each district goes back to school. So if you are unsure, maybe forgot when your kids go back to class, check out the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. 1,000 IPS students will soon be ready to go back to school. Today, AT&T employees stuffed 1,000 backpacks full of school supplies like notebooks, pencils, and rulers. AT&T will later donate the backpacks to students within IPS.
This Friday in Columbus, the police department and Durrell Juvenile are teaming up for a car seat safety check at police headquarters on Washington Street. Certified technicians from Durrell will check car safety seats for proper installation, and seats that have not been installed will be. The whole thing should take less than 15 minutes. The car seat event in Columbus goes from 9 to 11 on Friday morning. Durrell manufactures child safety products and other items under a number of brand names, including Costco.
Unbelievable video from Yellowstone National Park in Montana. It shows a bison charging 3 people, but the animal made contact with a 9-year-old girl who was thrown in the air. That girl and everyone else, amazingly, are okay. We just want to point that out for you right away. That shocking incident happened in the Old Faithful Geyser area. According to Yellowstone's Public Affairs Office, the girl was in a group gathered about 5 to 10 feet away from the bison when it charged. Park officials warned people to stay at least 75 feet away from all large animals. Wow, amazing video. Glad everyone's okay there.
Grammy Award-winning musician Young Thug and rapper Machine Gun Kelly are bringing their newly announced tour to Indianapolis. Both artists will perform at Indiana Farmers Coliseum on Thursday, October 24th. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m.
We've been enjoying some pleasant days out there now that heat's been turned off for a while.
It's an incredible, Kevin.
The party rolls on. Yeah, we're in good shape right on through the weekend, although temperatures come up a little bit. The humidity will not immediately follow. Carmel Clay Public Library, you could make an argument today. We should have had weather camp outside.
Look at that, yeah.
Nearly perfect. The kids, we had some 50 kids, parents, youngsters there enjoying a day, talking about severe weather, about hail, about pressure changes, about the difference between partly sunny and partly cloudy. Do you know that? There's no difference between partly sunny and partly cloudy. It's just I can't come on tonight at 11 o'clock and say it's partly sunny.
That's true.
Right? So they're interchangeable for obvious reasons. That's a dangerous thing right there. Kids who had to explain you can't do that at home. Only at weather camp. Boom. The egg gets sucked in the bottle as you change the pressure. All right, the genie's out of the bottle as far as what's going on in central Indiana. High pressure, big blue H sitting on the weather map. That ensures the blue sky that you see, and a relatively calm stretch will continue. Although we warm up a little bit, the warming trend certainly has been slow. It was 79 today. We'll hold off on any rain until next Monday. We're dry for several days. 81 in Terre Haute. Other temperatures above the 80-degree mark are hard to find. Have to go down into Lawrence County. Bedford, Mitchell, and Olytic, all in the low 80s. 77 in Columbus, Indianapolis at our warmest temperature so far today, 79 degrees. Back in the 50s, I think we can get used to this. Temperatures will warm well into the 60s for overnight lows. One more night. Temperatures in the upper 50s. That's where we'll start our Thursday. Thanks to Mark Janowski for sending in this picture of Addie relaxing on the front porch. Thinking about, but not quite sure about taking a walk this evening. It's a nice night. You can sit in the shade or in the direct sunlight and still be comfortable. 77 at 7 o'clock. By the time we get to 10 and 11, we're in the 60s. Temperatures next several days. There's the warming trend. It's not overwhelming. Humidity will be nowhere near what we experienced most recently in the last week. Highs tomorrow, north to south. Lower 80s, could be a spot or two that hits the mid 80s, but I think in general we'll fall short of that mark, and the wind will be light through the day with tons of sunshine. Friday planner, start to warm it up a little bit more. Temperatures well into the 80s, mid 80s, in some cases upper 80s. Into the weekend we go. The chance for thunderstorms holds off until we get to Monday and Tuesday. We will touch 90 on Sunday with a touch more humidity. I like to use that word touch for some reason.
Just a touch more.
Yeah. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, daily chance for thunderstorms returns.
All right.
Enjoy it while it's here.
Exactly. We'll be right back.
Dealer stock. Come in for great deals now. Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and we're bringing you gavel-to-gavel live coverage of a capital murder trial here on Court TV Live. It is the case of the state of Florida versus Grant Amato. He could face the death penalty if he is convicted. Prosecutors say that he killed his own family members. This is day number 2 of the state's case in chief. Authorities say that 30-year-old Amato murdered his mother, his father, and his brother over an obsession he had with a webcam girl in Bulgaria that he connected with online through an adult website. His family had accused Amato of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from his relatives in order to spend on this woman whose name is Sylvia. Now Amato is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The state says that he massacred his family after they blew his cover as a rich gamer, effectively ending his relationship with Sylvia. The defense is relying on the fact that there is no physical evidence linking Amato to this heinous crime. The state is presenting its case in chief and hoping to convince the jury that Amato is guilty. We'll have gavel-to-gavel coverage and legal analysis for you of Florida versus Amato right here on Court TV. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Julie. You can stream Court TV and get all of the big cases happening across the country anytime you want at courttv.com.
If you're looking to make some plans for the rest of the week or the weekend, Cirque du Soleil is in town.
The legendary acrobatic group is bringing its show Crystal to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Cirque du Soleil calls Crystal the first acrobatic performance on ice. The group says the show is a journey into whimsical frozen playground where figure skating mingles with acrobatics and aerial feats. The performance is tonight at 7:30, and we caught up with one Cirque du Soleil performer as he prepares to dazzle the audience.
I don't get nervous anymore, but I always have this little excitement before the show starts. And in the show, from me, you're going to see a couple of backflips, some triple jumps that I used to do in competition, and I'm pretty much the most flexible male skater in the world. So I have a couple of unique tricks that showcase that flexibility of mine.
Look at that. Cirque du Soleil's Crystal will be at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight through Sunday.
And there will be 8 performances total with multiple shows on Saturday and Sunday. Got that for you.
It looks like fun.
Coming up all new at 6 o'clock here. Helping save the youngest among us, the Safe Haven Baby Law is designed to do just that. But now there's a new question about one of the protections of the law. We're digging into that tonight at 6.
But first on the Now Indy, far too often there are major crashes on local roads and people are often trapped in the wreckage. Working for you, what you should do if you are ever in a crash and become trapped. You're watching RTV6.